It's good to see my guy. Welcome, welcome, Pendulum Ink. This is our legendary guest class here at Pendulum Ink. For those of you who have been here for 2 years now, you guys know that we have multiple guests that pull up, from Method Man to Twister to Inspect the Deck to Ransom, Master Ace, Big Daddy Kane, Bun B. We've had a multitude of guests, but this is a very special, legendary guest that we have here today. Not only is this a prominent figure in lyricism for the past, if I'm being honest, 19 years. This is this is a gentleman who representing Riverside. Is it Riverside? Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from the Bay Area, Richmond, California.
Bay Area. Pardon me, Bay Area, California. So the roots there with Sway, being half of a member of Frontline. Obviously, his album that came out, Olive Branch, which is crazy. The constant content that this brother puts out, the constant, not just content from a production standpoint, but the content of what he puts out is extremely high level. The poignancy in his lyricism, the aggression in the message, and the virality in what he puts out when he decides to go up to radio stations and get crazy. I need everybody that has their camera on, and if you want to put your camera on, put your camera on, throw your L's in the air one time, not only for the name Locksmith, but also for long live lyricism, for my brother, the legend of California, Locksmith. What's up, brother?
Man, thank you. Appreciate that, Mickey. That means a lot coming from you. I've watched your career closely over the years. Feel like we kind of was coming up at the same time. I think I probably met you probably damn near 20 years ago, probably about 18 years ago.
Yeah.
But I just think what you guys are doing in this with this platform, I just think it's amazing, and happy that you asked me up as a guest, and I'm at your disposal. And yeah, man, thank you for the warm welcome.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, I mean, right now, this looks like, this might be the second most biggest class that we've had, I think, since maybe Absol. So many of the students here are excited to partake in this this legendary guest class. So how we do this is we have our professors ask questions pertaining to you and your career. I will set it off. All of the questions will be framed around lyricism and anything and everything to do with the craft of what we do. There will be no controversial questions. There will be nothing like that. Everything will be framed around your craft and how you put what you put together. Okay. So I teach the advanced rhythm and style course here at Pendulum Ink. And what that is basically being able to break outside of your comfort zone when you're creating your music, and how you deliver to specific records, right? Everything doesn't and should not sound the same. So what I want to ask you, Lock, tonight is Professor Lock, actually. Professor Locksmith, how do you approach your beats when you finally get a chance to get a record? And how do you differentiate between what style of flow and delivery you're going to use between each record?
Okay, man, that's a good question. So basically, you're saying, let me just make sure I understand the question. Once I have a beat that moves me, like I've decided, like, yo, I like this beat, or I hear whatever this beat is, whatever it is, I decide I'm gonna do something on this.
Yes.
And you're asking me, how do I decide how to approach it, how to attack it, how to maneuver it?
Yes.
It's really a feeling, man. I can't, a lot of times sometimes it can be the beat itself. And then sometimes it can be how I'm feeling. I try not to force my thoughts and because sometimes I have an idea, especially early on when I first was kind of learning how to rap, or I feel like I'm still learning, but when you're first kind of a little bit newer to it, you have an idea and you want the idea to fit to the beat. So you're like, like you heard something, you saw something, or there's a certain beat that this beat might sound like something you heard from somebody else. And you're like, oh, this sounds like this J. Cole beat, or this sounds like this Nas song, and you want to rap like Nas on this beat. You know, that's what I used to do. Or even I do it subconsciously, even sometimes to this day, but sometimes I have to tell myself, no, what is a beat telling you to do? Usually, and for me, that comes with confidence, being confident in myself and knowing like, okay, the beat is going to tell me what to do. If I just let this beat guide me, the beat will tell me. But if I have a preconceived notion of what I feel like I gotta do, sometimes that can work out, but that can be, that can be a little tricky. I feel like for the most part, let the beat do what it's supposed to do, and it'll kind of tell you what to do. So, and that means finding the pockets, sometimes even finding the subject matter. There's an emotion that certain beats bring out. Um, and you just let it kind of dictate to you. But yeah, I just try to be open-minded and open-spirited, open-hearted, or whatever you want to call it, and don't try to force my preconceived what I feel like I'm supposed to do, or what, because sometimes I might be in a mood of like, I want to talk about this, and then a producer or somebody I'm working with give me all these beats. I'm like, now I'm trying to force what I already felt on these beats that may not necessarily be what that is. So sometimes I got to step away. Sometimes you got to know like, okay, it doesn't mean that I'm not dope or I'm not good right now. It's just that whatever is the frequency that I'm on ain't in tune with this frequency of this beat. So it's just knowing when to like kind of step back. But that takes understanding, confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? It took me a while to kind of know that, be like, nah, I'm not doing that right now. But at the end of the day, I still feel like I'm at the point as an artist where I'm confident enough to pretty much any beat, I know I can do something that's going to be decent. You know what I mean? That's going to be good. But whether it's going to invoke the best out of me and what I really want to do, sometimes the frequencies need to be lined up. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of look at it. I don't know if that answered the question exactly, but that's kind of how I maneuver in that space.
It answered the question perfectly, and I think all of the people in the chat are like, "Wow, we just started, and there's so many gems that you're dropping." So yes, that answered the question
For
perfectly.
sure.
Next question is going to be coming from Professor Chilla Jones. It's on you, brother.
Professor Locksmith, what's good, bro?
What's up, family?
Chilling. Let's get into it. You recently dropped a freestyle on Sway in the Morning. Which if y'all haven't heard it, tap into that shortly after this lecture. It's 10 minutes of craziness. But it's full of what we would consider to be called advanced writing techniques. So naturally, as a battle rapper, my question is, how much has your history as a battle rapper influenced your style? And what's your mentality when you visit the Sways, the LA Leakers, the Funk Flexes of the world, to drop bars for the masses?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say this before we go forward. I don't want to mislead. I'm not as advanced in the jargon as you guys are. Like, because I know sometimes I'll be seeing Mickey be posting stuff. He'd be like, yo, this is called a double. I'll be like, yo, I don't even know what that was called. You know what I'm saying? I just been doing this shit for so long that I just kind of know what certain things are. Like, I didn't even know what a double entendre was, but I knew I was doing it until like years later. And people's like, oh, that's a double entendre, or this is this kind of scheme or that kind of scheme. I didn't know about those stuff. So I'm kind of like relearning the name of the stuff. But I think it's so dope that we are categorizing and understanding, because this is what hip hop and specifically lyricism or emceeing within hip hop need. So I think that's amazing. So I just want to acknowledge that. So if I don't say the certain things, I might not be saying things correctly, but I'm trying to illustrate it the best I can to
Gotcha.
for the understanding. But so you're saying, I'm so sorry. So you had two questions. You was like, how did
Yeah.